Okay, here we go again. Here's another clip on the lighting project for the third level of the Ultimate Imperial Playset. I have made some adjustments to the Jawa cam, my hand. I put a little tab over here. That way I can adjust it down for when I'm working and bring it back up. That way when I move around the shop, I want to try to remember to put it up. That way you can actually see the shop instead of looking at my feet and looking at the floor. But this will take some adjustments. This is Sunday, and usually I make these on Saturdays, but here's what I did yesterday. I made a light tree, as you can see. The shop really needs to be fluid because I have a garage door and I bring vehicles in here, you know, simple maintenance and simple repairs. I'm not a mechanic. So, you know, everything needs to be fluid in here. And my lighting has been lacking here anyway because things move around so much. And I have a fan that I have to stay away from. So I come up with this idea, and the best thing about it is it didn't cost me any money because I had all these things already here. But this is great because it moves. I can adjust it to wherever it needs to be. Got some extra plug-in space here. That's going to really work out well, I think. One side over the table saw and the other side over the router table, which is where I'm going to work right now. So I'm going to adjust this back down and put it on, and we'll go from here. Now, here's what I'm working on. Hopefully this is going to come out right. This is what you call a riser or part of the fixture. I don't know. One thing you will, if you haven't noticed yet, my terminology can be strange and I'll say different things for the same thing because I am a professional truck driver. I am not a woodworker. I am not a carpenter. And I've, for 20 years, have just winged this. The most important thing is I have all my fingers. Kind of whacked a tip here one time, but I still have all my fingers. And the main thing is safety. And I kind of like making things up on my own because, you know, this is something that is just kind of a bit of on the original side. So, and I'm always trying to come up with different ways to do different things, which is what I'm going to do now, because for safety's sake, is when I made this, I cut it to dimensions first. Now, it's a little springy, so I was real careful, made a little divot here, but what I'm going to do, what I've done is I've laid it out on a bigger piece. That way I can move it around and have more to hang on to. So what I'm going to do now is I have already measured it out to cut the slot in the center, and I will do that first. So I already have my marks, and I have a rear mark so I can keep my fingers back a little bit. You can always tell when it's getting towards the top because it vibrates a little more and it gets warm. That will actually heat this board up, and it will, I bring it up slow enough to where I won't have my fingers over it. And so far I've never done that, and hopefully I won't, or it will be a short clip and a fast trip to the emergency room or urgent care. So now I need to lower this blade. Make sure it's good and lower. And I'm going to start, probably ought to start just about in the middle of it. And then just work my way back and forth till it protrudes, and then I'll trim off the end, and I'll have to move my fence over to the table saw so I can cut it to width. And then after that I'll make the grooves for the wires. But I made a little spot here. I'm going to get another pair of these, and I'm going to put pencils everywhere because I'm tired of not having things. So I think we're about ready to go here. So I'm going to go ahead and start to do this. dusty. Now I'm gonna come over here, sand that top off. Now we're working in a cloud of dust. Now I'll go ahead and line this up. Pencil and now I'll take it over here, cut to length. Now I need to move my fence over here. This is 2 1/4 inches wide, and I'm going to have to be very careful because I'm still going to have a little bit of bend there, so I'm going to have to be very careful. Just make it a hair long. I can take that down. Okay. Luckily, I have dust collection here, so let's go ahead and make our pass. I don't want to push in very hard at all when you get to the pad. I just want to, so I don't bend it. Normal wood, you get a lot of chatter on the sides. There's not much here with this, so I can probably just sand this out and not have to run it over the jointer. Okay. Before I round the ends, I need to put a rabbet in here. This edge here. This is a neat tool. I really like this oscillating spindle sander for doing inside work. I think I'm going to go a little more on this. That's going to come out really nice. Let's stop there.